Hi, I'm Adam Snyder, Managing Editor for North America at the FinTech Times. I'm here at Money 2020, and it is my distinct pleasure to be speaking with Tracey Davies, President of Money 2020. So Tracey.
Hi.
It's been a very interesting past couple years, I think we can say professionally. When you and I last met, it was via Zoom, and that's how most of us are working, behind camera, behind screen.
Yep.
Now we're here together. And I know 4 weeks ago, you put on Money 2020 Amsterdam. Now, different countries, different regulations, different responses to COVID. I'm interested to know, what was the road like getting here to Las Vegas?
Well, I think we'd have to describe it as bumpy, right? It's been bumpy for all of us. Life has become a little unpredictable. But we always felt confident that we would deliver the shows in the autumn of this year, the fall, sorry, in American. But there were ups and downs because we live in unpredictable times. And that's the same for the industry as it is for, me running Money 2020. But we were very committed that we wanted to run them. And more importantly, our customers wanted us to run them because I think people appreciate, and I'm sure we'll talk about the value of being in person in real life. Digital is great, but you can't beat physical. And so we had a lot of support to do it. Of course it was bumpy because rules have changed, what are the regulations, all of that. And so that adds a layer of complexity to what is already a very, very complicated big show. So, but we're here.
Yes, we are.
We did it. And, onwards and upwards to 2022.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, yes, the industry definitely wants to be together and away from their spouses and children, and in some cases.
Well, you could say that. I'm not going to say that. My husband might be watching.
My wife doesn't watch my stuff, so it's fine. So talk to us about the event. What do you think has been, I know we can't say what's been the number one story or the number one theme, but what do you think have been some of the key themes of the event?
Just such a difficult question because obviously what Money 2020 was created for 10 years ago was bringing the ecosystem together. So you've got banks, you've got payment companies, fintech, startups, VCs, and they've all got different things they want to achieve. So it's really hard to call out the single theme. I think one of the things we've noticed, and we saw this in Europe, is people have come back with a real intensity to do business. And, we track because our app helps people connect and you can book meetings. It's gone off the scale. It's virtually doubled the number of meetings here. That's on top of all the meetings that people set up on their own. In Europe, 5-fold increase. People have come back with an intensity, an urgency, whether that's the time that we had away living, as you say, in our Zoom lives, or whether it's a different shift because the industry has moved on, but that is really noticeable. So there's not such of a theme about topics of the industry, but how am I observing people are showing up here? It's very different. The energy is great. People are excited to be back. So there's some sort of subtle things that we're seeing. I think since we were last here, 2019, DeFi, blockchain, that has gone from strength to strength. Banking, tech stacks is a really big talking point this week, but there's just so many talking points. So, but I think the behaviour and how people have come back to live is really interesting for me as someone who is an event organiser and looks at events and how we put on the events. And that's a shift. That seems to be a shift in behaviour. So that's going to be really interesting to watch how that plays out.
So on that topic, running a large event like this, this is probably not the right way to phrase the question, but I'm going to. How easy or difficult is it to keep an audience engaged? And, if we come together in Amsterdam, in Las Vegas, in Asia, what are the sort of steps in between?
Well, it's an interesting question because, digital created opportunities for us all. So, we've done, actually before COVID, we had Money Pot, which is our podcast, which has got a great following. And then we developed Money Fest, which is, our festival online. And so that's given us really new touch points with customers. We published a big report this year about the future of fintech where we called out, the 5 key trends over the next 5 years. So we moved much more into talking and engaging with our customers between the shows. So I think that's really interesting. And we may not have, we did some of that, but we've done more of it because of COVID. So that will be interesting because I think we really see an opportunity there of talking to our customers all year round. And they have wanted to talk to us in between, you know, with the break from the shows, and also now they still want that. So I think that's interesting. And engaging in live, it's challenging, it changes, and we survey, we talk to customers, and you know, we just have to spend a lot of time really thinking about what do we do and how do we do it differently, because this show is completely different to 2019 and we have to bring it back fresh and keep them excited. So yeah, it's pretty, it's relentless, but it's fun.
That's great. As somebody who's been coming since 2014, I definitely
It's
agree with
changed
you.
a lot,
It's
hasn't it,
changed a
since
lot.
2014?
And every year is different. So if this was someone's first time at Money 2020, what would your advice be to them?
Well, for our first-time customers, so I don't know if you noticed, but if you're a first-time customer, on your badge you have a icon so that my team here can spot that you're a first-timer, so that we can reach out. Do you need additional directional navigation, etc., etc.? But we did a whole program for first-time customers. We did this in 2019 actually, but we increased it in 2021. So every first-time customer will have had reach-outs pre-show to help them know what to do, get ready for the show. What should I be thinking about? We did webinars just for first-time customers, and then when our first-time customers came on site, we did a whole reception for them so they could meet each other, because often a first-time customer comes alone. You turn up at this show alone, that can be a little isolating and you know, a bit of a lonely experience. So we were also linking people and connecting them within the show. So you know, we work very hard on first-time customers because this is a big show. There's a lot going on, and we need to help guide them and navigate them in. Because, as you know, lots of our customers come back year after year after year, but we take that as our responsibility to help them, you know, acquaint with us, I guess.
Sure. Great. Well, I'd say, you know, this has been an incredible week. I think you're doing a great job. I look
thank
forward to
you.
the next one and really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
I hope we can have a rest before the next one, but I am looking forward to the next one. So we're back in June in Amsterdam, our normal dateline, and they're back here in October. So look forward to seeing you then.
Well, Main Mar Amsterdam.
Absolutely.
All right.